Welcome. We are here with For the Passion, Not the Fashion, the YouTube channel. We are here with Herman Frank.
Hi, how are you?
The main guy behind the German hard rock band Victory.
Yeah, right now. You may tell the truth, yeah?
And if you don't want to tell the truth, you say, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe some questions I will answer like Ossie did.
Yeah.
It's too long ago. I can't remember.
At least I want to ask you all to subscribe on the channel and like it. If you don't like it, put it down. Who cares? Anyway, how is it to be on the road again, Frank?
It's fantastic.
Yeah?
I mean, we had been in the same situation like the whole world.
Yeah.
And these three shows we have done Oberhausen in Germany, and last night we had been in France, a little nice festival. And today we are in Aarschot. Different pronunciation. And that had been the only shows that had been left that had been not cancelled. Thank God. And we're looking forward for tonight.
Yeah, this is great. I think it's a great location. I've seen you in several concerts, which are always cool.
I think it was back then already 5 years ago.
Yeah.
As I remember, right?
Okay.
Two managers said, "How many you had been there?"
Sorry?
And I said, "What?" He said, "Oh, I show you in the internet." Oh yeah, I had been there.
So your internet, your agenda told you were here.
Yeah.
I want to talk first about your great style of guitar playing.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah?
appreciate it.
Your vibrato is outstanding.
Maybe because I'm getting old. Shaking hands, you know. It's getting better and better.
It's really great. You're great and combines many elements in your guitar playing.
Maybe it's coming from because I was playing 10 or 12 years violin, and then I'm used in my ears for kind of tremolo.
Yeah.
So maybe I was trained as a child already, and I just like, and so you come up with, and I always tried right from the start on to come up with some a little bit different from other people doing.
Yeah, many elements in it.
Yeah, and when I listened, when I was youngster, for me there had been heroes like Van Halen and Richie Blackmore, and you listen to these kind of licks they use, but I always try to do a different note in there or something else.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for, to create something a little bit own style.
It worked out pretty well, I guess.
Hopefully.
Are you still here after playing in early Accept?
Oh yeah.
Hazard.
Oh my.
I have the albums too, and Sinner.
Oh yeah, today Michael made a joke. He said, "No, let's go for Wikipedia for Herman Frank. Put Herman Frank in." Yeah, half an hour later.
I hope this is not a hard question, but if you don't know, you joined Victory, were managed at the time by a highly profiled labor Krebs management. Could you say Victory was your most professional band until then?
I mean, besides Accept.
Yeah.
I mean, Accept is really professional. You can't beat that management from Gabi Hauke at this time. Now she married Wolf Hoffmann. I mean, but besides that, yeah, it was quite professional. That's the reason why I left Sinner and joined Victory. Also because of the fantastic singer at this time, Charlie Huhn. And I was when I heard he was singing with Ted Nugent, one of my guitar heroes, there was no question about. I drove over to Hanover and said, "Hey, here I am."
Cool. Yeah, and but about Hanover, you are from Franconia.
Yeah.
Which had a great melodic rock scene in the 80s, which many bands were from the south, from the hard rock, you know?
Yeah, kind of, but there was a better scene in Hanover, actually.
Yeah, but that's what my next question is.
I mean, when I left, there was no scene anymore.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So sorry, guys.
But how do you look back on those high days of melodic rock in Germany, and Was there a difference between those areas at the time, or was it less or more appreciated in some parts of?
I mean, there had been a couple of good bands all over Germany. We call it Ruhrpott.
Yeah.
And some of them came up from the area, from Munich, from Stuttgart, as you think about Sinner and Primal Fear and stuff like that. But as the Scorpions started it in Hanover and Eloy, I mean, there was growing a scene.
Yeah.
So there had been PA companies, lighting companies, management, staff, backliners, people that worked for the bands. And so I guess Hanover was for maybe a decade the capital of rock and roll in Germany. Yeah, I would say so.
I was in Hanover a month ago.
Why?
By the
you're a football fan.
Yeah, it's
soccer fan.
Yeah, but you were from the city Hanover, and was there a connection between you and the Scorpions? Were you in touch with those guys?
I mean, yeah, sure. Once in a while you get in touch with them, but actually, I mean, there may be, it's another generation, the Scorpions. They're maybe 1 or 2 years older than myself, I guess 10, sorry Rudolph, I told them. So, and they had been the real rock stars.
Yeah.
Also, even that time, back to the 80s, there had been already huge rock star. So it's kind of like different scene. Once in a while, I mean, with Acceptance Victory, we did a couple of shows with the Scorpions together. Then then they show up, and Klaus says hello, or Rudolph, or you meet him at a kind of like backstage party for actors in Hanover. So they're talking about, they're very gentle guys, I have to tell. But I mean, business in between Scorpions and myself, that's not happening.
Yeah, okay.
I wish it would. I wish Matthias would go for retirement. I would right away. I would join Scorpion. Oh yeah, it's one of my. These are one of my heroes, you know, and I really love the music.
It's strange. In Europe, I think the Scorpions are more popular even outside of Germany than inside of Germany.
Yeah.
That's something I.
That's the most German bands.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like it is.
Okay. Next, and how was it possible to manage getting Charlie Huhn, the first American victory singer from Detroit, involved in songwriting, producing, and touring in Europe?
I mean, I guess the producer at these days, Rick Prouty, he was from America, and the one singer who was in studio, Pedro, he didn't do quite well in the recording, so there was a big complaining and a big trouble, and then he said, "Oh, I do know a singer, Charlie Huhn. Maybe he wants to join the band." We just called him up. He flew over and he sang the album like hell.
Wow.
I mean, at these days, Charlie was really on top of his voice, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And about being on the road, it's not like. What was your most memorable moment on being on the road with the band?
After traveling 28 hours to see the I Hope.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a kind of like where you can get breakfast in America because everybody was terrible hungry.
Like now.
Right now, and that was a quite remarkable moment in my life.
Cool. And now I'm gonna talk about
the sign, I Hope, or McD or something,
cool.
or even Burger King.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Or Wendy's.
Oh, Wendy's is not good. It's not bad at all.
I go next week to America. To the Bay Area. So
go for I Hope. Yeah. I Hope. Oh, I do love this.
Cool. I go 10 days, so let's see what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Hey, and about your new album, Gods of Tomorrow, which was released by AFM Records, right? Yeah. What can you tell us about this new studio album?
As usual, we recorded some songs. This time we did 13 or 14, I can't remember.
You can't remember?
As Ozzy said, it's past.
Okay.
So I'm always a guy who's looking for the future now. I guess we did 13 songs, brand new songs, and we recorded in the Horror Sound Studio in Hanover. Yeah. That's a studio with very old history. I mean, Scorpions have been there. This studio belongs now in Hanover for decades. Halloween had been there. Victory, we already recorded a couple of, I guess 1 or 2 albums there, and a lot of other bands. So as I said, now it's time for this record. I wanted to catch the old spirit. At least we tried to, and I think it happened. So I said, we should go for the older studio again.
The old studio.
Around. And it's still the same desk, the same rooms, and maybe the same mics. I couldn't even tell.
But it still sounds great.
It still sounds great, and even the small flat up there where all the musicians stay.
Yeah.
Even maybe the same beds or something, not the same towers. Thank God.
Oh, that will be.
And so we entered the studio and we just started recording drums with Arne Neurand. He engineered it. He's a very talented guy. And so we try to keep the spirit from the past. And actually, I was looking for kind of like a little bit a mixture in between the sound of the Culture Temple Kilternative album and the Temples of Gold. And I guess we get it. And then Johnny flew into Hanover and everybody was in the studio. Malte played this fantastic bass.
Yeah.
He killed it. I guess I have to tell he killed it. Because for me, in production, the most important thing is drums, bass, and singing. Guitars are doing a little bit harmony.
Yeah, drums and bass are
That's the most important thing.
The rhythm of the band. Huh?
Yeah, think about everybody's if people start moving or dancing.
But the guitarist or the singer is in front of the stage.
If you have a proper bass player and proper drummer, you can remove the guitars from the mix.
Yeah. And
the song should go. That's the way I would love to produce. And guitars, they're doing the harmonies and for recognizing the song, And if you have a vocalist on top and you use talent, that's fine.
And who produced the album?
I produced it.
Yeah?
By myself, yeah.
And can you introduce the rest of the members of
Sure.
the band?
Right on my right side, the fantastic only one, Malte Frederick Burker. There's the camera.
Thank you so much.
Say hello.
That was the nicest welcome that I've ever heard. Yeah.
And from my hometown, Hanover, my old buddy, Mike Pesci. Fantastic guitar player. He's the only one who can double my guitars. And then we have on my left, Johnny. Everybody knows this guy already. Yeah. He's the most famous singer from out of Basel, Switzerland. And the new voice of
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
And we will give him a really nice welcome. Viva Johnny! Viva Johnny!
Make some noise for
Make some noise!
Because now you are the part of the
we need to thank and say hello to Steiny, who's doing
the
drums right now.
We still, as usual, we're still missing our drummer. Yeah. Maybe he's on his way to Paris because he got a German navigation system.
Oh.
And this only leads to Paris. No, just joking.
Hey, and you met this guy, your new guy, Johnny Pontillo,
yes.
Pontillo, yeah. You seems
What? You never told me your last name. What's your last name?
Pontillo.
Oh, cool. Sounds good to me.
The drummer, hi.
And now we got the most one and only Michael Stein.
Hello.
He's hitting the drums real hard. He's keeping the beat.
I tried to.
And he saved the whole show.
The rhythm in the band.
Oh,
together with
exactly. Yes.
Yeah, fundament.
Yeah, the combo, the rhythm combo.
Yeah.
Hey, and about the new, because this is what I'm gonna ask. Your new singer, Johnny
Pontillo.
You seems the ideal combo of Charlie Huhn and Fernando Garcia.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I said that. How did you meet him?
Actually, it was a lucky day.
A lucky day. The most lucky day in your life.
I have one of the most lucky days in my life. I have to say, yeah, you're absolutely right. I did a show, a little festival in South Germany with my Herman Frank band.
Yeah.
And so I entered the venue and there was a band playing. I said to myself, oops, because they're always looking for good singers.
Yeah.
And this sticks in my ear. I said, who's this guy? And the promoter said, "Oh, it's Johnny. Oh, I do know him very well. He's a nice guy." And blah 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 blah. And I listened to the whole show and said, "That's the voice I was looking for maybe for 5 or 10 years." And then they said, "I can introduce you, the promoter." And then so as we started talking, and it happened from the first moment on. We had been maybe one unit.
Yeah.
Maybe we had been looking for 30 years for this moment.
Yeah.
And then
He was not born yet, I think.
No. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
born.
he was born.
I was born, but
Very young.
I was very young.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And I said, "Hey, he's a good-looking guy, good voice. That's the
That's
thing I'm looking for." So I went back to Hanover after the show and I sent him some playbacks from the old classic stuff, maybe Temples of God, I can't even remember, Power Strikes the Earth and stuff like that. And on 2 days later, he sent me back 5 tracks, perfectly sang, and I listened to my eyes and said, "It's Fernando, and now it's Charlie, now it's Johnny." So he got his timbre in his voice, and he can really cover these really famous guys and good singers. And then he showed me on one track, I guess it was Temples, he showed me his style. I said, "That's worth it to do a new record." And I said, "Bing, bing, clack, 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 bing, bing." No, totally again. I said, "Okay, let's do a record also." But then Corona showed up.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So it took us a little bit longer, maybe a year longer to get the record done. But anyway, we had been working via WhatsApp and Zoom and Facebook and whatever.
Yeah, we worked on the songs like this, yes.
Yeah.
On the lyrics and on
Yeah,
the,
he was singing back, I was singing forward, and he was singing backwards.
Yeah.
And we discussed about the lyrics. And finally, then we said to ourselves, "Okay, so now it's time to record."
Yeah.
Then he got tested. He flew over in the horror studio. Malte showed up and Michael Stein. And we tested them before. I was tested, the engineer was tested. They entered the studio and the flat is upstairs. So then I closed the door. I locked it. So they had to stay and nobody could be infected or something, you know. And that was the only way. And we had papers, we had been tested and everybody got tested, I guess, every second day. So we wanted to stay safe in these days. Otherwise we couldn't have done it. So I locked them down for maybe 14, 16 days or something like that.
Yeah.
And I put in my guitar
Like
down.
Bruce Dickinson, they did it with him too in the summer.
Yes, sure. Hey. It's a German way to do this. And I put down my guitars in my own little studio before.
Yeah.
So they got the guitar tracks. I know already what Johnny was singing. Then Michael started to put his drums down, bass, and in the end, we did in between. So Michael started early day, he came up, showed up at 11 or 12, did one track. And so it was kind of like recording like in the old days.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Because to have the whole band, and Mike showed up then, because he's from Hanover. Whenever Johnny was tired or Michael was tired, so Michael, I could just make Michael go, "They have to show up now." And
we switched, so it was easy to handle. Yes.
Yeah, and he put down his guitars, you know, and so it was quite nice working.
Are you happy with the current lineup of the band?
It's the best ever.
Yeah.
I have to tell, sorry guys, sorry Peter, sorry Tommy, and sorry Fritz. The thing is, there's not only one lucky day.
No.
I got 4 lucky days to find these kind of people, and we stick together and we serve everybody as a band surviving Corona, you know, doing nothing. It's a good sign that it's the thing that we are together again. And I think the new record, if you listen to it, it sounds so fresh.
I want to ask you if there's what you expect from the future with
A lot of drugs, a lot of fun, a lot of beer, a lot of schnapps.
Can you tell me what your goal is with the band in the next years?
The first goal is, or the first thing is what
Getting CDs for free. Getting the CDs.
First the CDs, please AFM, talk to AFM, get serious question. I would love to have my copy.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, first thing, everybody's excited and waiting for the release date.
Yeah.
Because I guess the first critics, they flew in and they came in and everybody's really excited about the album. They love it.
Yeah.
They say it's old spirit from the victory. They didn't expect such a fresh album of such lots of good rock and roll songs, and there's no filler in it. I can tell you, and I
Just
promise
killers.
it. there's no filler. I think every song could be a single easily. And the next thing is we're looking forward, maybe Corona allows us. We have booked a kind of like test tour, smaller one, 16 dates, I guess, or 80 something dates. In end of January, we start in Germany, we do a little bit of whatever, the countries outside, Austria, Switzerland, stuff like that. And then maybe a couple of these festivals we already had been booked, that will happen. So there will be Sweden Rock, Bangerhead, and Metal Fest, and
cool festivals.
They ask us for Moscow for the Big Band Festival and stuff, and all over, in Croatia and Spain. Oh, Spain was cancelled. We had been supposed to be in November over there for 3 or 4 concerts. So nobody can tell right now, but that's the next step. And then maybe it's time for another record already.
Hey, and this is finally the end. You can play.
Thank God.
Hey, I want to thank you for your open-hearted
You're
conversation.
very welcome.
And is there any last thing you'd like to add for our viewers to buy the album? Where they can find your merch, your
Is
band,
it just for Belgium?
and Holland,
And
and
Holland?
everywhere in the world?
People, the most important question right now: where's the next coffee? Where's milk and where's sugar? Because he mentioned this is the first thing he mentioned to me when he saw me today. You look tired. You should go for coffee.
Yeah, it's still look tired.
I go for coffee. See you all, boys. Just
Bye.
are
Take
waiting.
care, guys. Bye, album.
We're ready for sound check. We're gonna hit the stage.
Wacht even. For the passion, not the fashion, like, share, subscribe. Now, rock on.
Rock on.
Dedication